Welcome to Paired Adventures. This podcast is intended for listeners 18 and older. It contains discussions about the consensual adult swinger lifestyle and may include mature themes and language. Listener discretion is advised.
All opinions shared are personal and for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This podcast does not provide professional, medical, legal, or relationship advice.
All activities discussed involve consenting adults. We do not support coercion, exploitation, or illegal behavior. By listening, you confirm that you are of legal age and choose to engage with this content. Hey there, sexy listeners, and welcome back to Paired Adventures. This is Veronica.
And Philip. And tonight we're going to be talking about attraction and four-sided attraction. We're also going to be talking about some of the bloopers and embarrassing moments that sometimes happen in the lifestyle. And if they haven't happened to you yet, they probably will. So I guess let's start with the hardest thing for a couple who's looking for other couples. And that's a four-sided attraction. So what's four-sided attraction mean to you?
Four-sided attraction means to me that I'm attracted to, obviously, you.
Mm-hmm.
You're attracted to me.
Right.
I am attracted to the male perspective of the couple as well as the female couple of.
Yeah, I would say that it's basically where we all have to kind of have some kind of shared attraction with one another.
Yeah,
And that is probably one of the hardest things to find,
I would agree.
honestly. So some people say a unicorn is a single female. I would also say the unicorn might be that couple that we are equally attracted to, and they're same to us.
Yeah, I think so too.
So throughout this journey, we've definitely found that, in some situations, I'm attracted to the female and you might not be as attracted to the male.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You're really attracted to the male and I'm not as attracted to the female. So that makes it difficult when you're looking specifically for couples. You're not just looking for a single female or a single male where it's just a three-sided attraction, really. It's us being attracted to one person or them being attracted to us. Now you're throwing in a whole nother dynamic where you've got multiple people trying to be physically, I guess emotionally in a sense, and sparking some type of chemistry to want to move to the next level.
Yeah, I think that happens.
Right. So, what are some things that I guess you would say that could kind of help that?
Well, I think sometimes it's not necessarily all about attraction. Sometimes it's, you may not necessarily be sexually attracted to somebody
Right out the gate.
right out of the gate.
Mhm.
But there is something to be said where, somebody might not be exactly what you would go for,
Mhm.
but they might be good at doing something that you didn't expect them to be good at.
I mean, they could surprise you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's happened in some of the situations we've been in.
Oh, definitely.
So it's not, for me at least, it's not really the physical looks of the person that's that important. There's so much more that kind of goes into that.
No, I mean, personality might be
Personality is a
great.
huge one. Confidence, cleanliness, and if I get next to you and I smell like your body odor, and you might have needed to take a shower before you came out.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's a turn off in general.
And one thing I've noticed a lot at the events is men tend to not take care of themselves or present themselves as well as their female partner. Almost like it drags them down a little bit. Wrinkly shirts or dirty, just coming from work. And I wouldn't say it happens with all of them, but you see a few of those at each event.
Like, they don't try as hard.
They're not trying. So I think, one of the things that could help everyone is when you're getting ready to go out and you want to meet other people in any type of environment. If you're going out to a bar or if you want to go to a swinger event, you need to take care of yourself. Shower, shave, clean clothes, put on some deodorant, cologne, any of those things. And that helps tremendously.
Yeah. So, what do you do if you get into a situation where one partner is attracted to someone, but the other partner just isn't?
Well, I think you have to kind of talk about that. So as you're chatting with this other, let's just assume it's another couple because that's what we typically are looking for. So that four-sided connection. So as we're talking, maybe you get up and you say, "Excuse me, I'm going to go to the restroom." And then, I might be feeling this couple. So I'm going to say, "Excuse me, guys, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick." And then me and you are gonna meet up and we're gonna talk and see what you're feeling, what I'm feeling. And if it's mutual, then obviously we would pursue. Now, of course, we're not mind readers, so we don't know what the other couple's thinking, but we can kind of make assumptions off of how long you talk to someone, what the conversation is,
Yeah, body
body
language.
language, if there's flirting, all of those things. But I guess to answer your question, like, what do you do? If you haven't got into like a full on situation yet, I think the only thing you can do at that point is just communicate.
Hmm.
So if I'm into someone and I come to you and say, "Hey, how are you feeling about this couple?" And you're like, I'm not really feeling them. Well, then we're probably not going to go any further.
And I think it also makes a difference if it's a true four-way
It does for sure.
connection. Well, I mean, if you're looking at a couple and both of the opposite couple, they're both straight,
Mm, right.
then it would be a three-way connection in a sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm straight, so I'm not really ever looking at the guy in like a sexual way, but I can admit when a guy is good looking.
Yeah, but like for me as a bisexual woman,
Mm,
it is more of a four-way
right,
connection,
right.
like a
Yeah,
four-sided.
absolutely, 100%.
But if the female in that other relationship is straight,
Mhm,
then I have to not look at it as a four-way
right.
connection. I have to look at it as a three-way connection.
Mhm. And that's kind of some of the things that you talk about as you're getting into that situation is like, "Hey, what are you guys into?" And so on.
Yeah, so if you're looking at it as a three-way connection, you have to take that in consideration too. So what happens if we're in a three-way connection? So meaning that I'm bisexual, Philip is straight, the male partner is straight, and the female partner is straight from the other couple.
Mm,
So I'm looking at the male and I'm not really vibing, but you're vibing with the female.
mhm,
So it's a different concept in that sense because if I was looking at it as a four-way connection, I might not be particularly interested in the male, but I still have an option
right.
with the female where I might be attracted to her. And so I still have an option in that scenario.
Right, exactly. I think that's where it gets so difficult, and that's kind of why we're talking about it, is that unicorn, that other couple that are both of us are attracted to.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
I mean, it is. And I'm not saying we've had a lot of experiences and we've had fun with a lot of couples. And each one of those were in different level of like physical attraction.
Yeah,
And then we've been with, some people that we were both extremely physically
a- attracted
attracted
to.
to, but they were just like dry as a bone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looks aren't everything.
Mhm.
So that's why I said that I don't really go after the physical part. I'm looking more for like, how's your personality? Are you fun to be around? Can I picture myself in this situation with you and we're going to have a good time?
Yeah, and I think that it comes down to too, like, you might have great compatibility with someone, but if the spark isn't there physically,
Right. Exactly.
then, you might see them more as like a great friend,
Mhm.
but you don't necessarily want to fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that happens. It happens a lot because it's not even just us, it's them too. Like they're sizing you up as well.
Yeah.
And they're looking at us as a couple and they're like, "Okay, well, I might be attracted to her.
Mhm.
I'm not really attracted to him." And, so on.
I think
So,
that falls back into like some people are like, well, you just have to take one for the team.
yeah, I don't really I don't agree with this taking one for a team thing. I mean, I guess to an extent you could get into a situation like that. I think if you're
Actually,
communicating.
Yeah, I actually heard someone use that statement at the party we went to on Friday.
Really?
Yeah. They were talking about it and they were like having a conversation that I was not a part of. I was just a bystander to the conversation. And they were talking about, well, what do you do? Like, if, the same situation, like, what do you do if you're just like not attracted to somebody and, you just got to take one for the team because you're in a couple? I think it was a
Oh,
single male that was saying it
oh,
and
God.
asking like how do you like deal with that? Like, do
Mm.
you just take one for the team? And I mean, I don't think necessarily it's taking one for the team because that sounds derogatory.
It does.
Like it sounds negative. Um so I mean, have we had sex with people that we weren't 100% mutually attracted to?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we have.
Yeah. But
Um
did we have a great time?
yeah,
Most
exactly.
likely we did.
We did. We had a great
Yeah.
time.
So I think that's where it really gets into it. It's not really taking one for the team. Now, I could imagine there's some scenarios where someone probably could have said they've taken one for the team. But
I mean, I can say I have.
right. But at the same time, I think that each person brings their own uniqueness to the situation where majority of the play sessions we've been a part of, we've had a really good time.
Yeah. And I mean, and you might be pleasantly surprised. I mean, you
Mhm.
might see a man and be like, oh, he's really not my type. He doesn't really meet the qualifications that I have kind of like, in my brain of what I'm looking for. And then you decide, but he has a good personality and, we're vibing, we're getting along. Like, let's just go ahead and move forward because the other dynamics are there. And then you get into the room and he drops his pants and he has a massive dick.
Mhm.
I mean, you might be saying no based off of his face or, something, but then you might be pleasantly surprised and have the best night of your life and the biggest dick you've ever had.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Or he could be extremely good at oral. Or he could be the one that makes you squirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's goes back to don't judge a book by the cover.
Right. So I don't really see it as taking one for the team. I think that it's more so every experience you get into, you have the potential of making it what you want it to be. And it can be a great experience.
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
think that if it's really to the stopping point of like, hey, there's no physical attraction here and you need that, then that's when you have to like kind of pull your partner to the side and have a talk with them. And then you guys decide what you're going to do moving forward.
Yeah, and it could even be after the fact.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Like you might go and have, a play session and you're just like, look, we're just not compatible.
Yeah. And I mean, that's happened to us before.
Hmm.
We've, gone ahead and had a play session and had a great time in that session and then turned around and realized, like, for me, I like this person as a person, like they're great, but that spark, that chemistry
Just not there.
is just not there.
Yep. And I can say the same thing. I've been in situations where I've had a wonderful time and it's like, yeah, that was a one-time thing. I would not want to do that again. So, I mean, it really just comes down to so many different things, and that's where it gets difficult. Is that four-way connection where everyone's trying to size each other up, build chemistry, picture if you're going to be able to fuck these people and have a good time or not. And that's what really the lifestyle that's hard to find.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we all like, especially as women, we have like this fantasy or like, we all have like Philip and I have what we call a hall pass, I mean, so like my hall pass because I'm bisexual would be like Channing Tatum or Shay Mitchell. So those are my hall passes. Those are like I'll never actually ever be able to fuck those people, but if the situation was to present itself,
Right.
like those are my hall passes. Those are my go-to like stereotypical like what I'm looking for like in a guy. Now, is that realistic? Like is every single guy walking around out there, that's open to having sex with you looking like Channing Tatum? No.
Mm-mm.
Like that's not realistic. Do they look like the guys that are in my romance novels? No, they're just everyday guys.
Right. And they might not be, for like me, it might not be the female that if I saw them at a bar and I was a single person that I would approach. But after having 2 or 3 minutes of conversation, I'm like, "Hey, this person's actually pretty cool."
Yeah.
And, they present themselves well, they have confidence, they're clean, or they appear clean. And, I mean, to me, that just speaks a lot more. And I can become physically attracted to someone based off of those features.
Yeah. Because personality makes a difference. I mean, okay, let's just boil it down. So when I first met Philip, he was not my type.
Yeah.
Like, my normal go to guy was not who he is. And so, first, like, one on one contact, just like seeing him, my first thought was, ooh, he's not like anybody that I've dated before.
That's what you needed.
But that, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I needed. But then, like, getting to know him and having conversations and learning his personality and what he was about, like, on the inside, that is what created the desire and the chemistry and that sexual
Mhm.
passion. So, like, all of that matters. So,
Yeah.
is he Channing Tatum? No.
Pretty damn close.
But I mean, it just all of that plays in factors too.
No, it does 100%. And I think, you know, even you guys as listeners, you see that in your own life, right? Whereas you might see a couple and you look at them and, if you're judging them on a unrealistic level of these numbering system, this bullshit of, well, you're a 10 and, that person's a 6, whatever. You look at these mismatched couples and you're like, what are they doing together?
Yeah, like how did he end up with her or
Right,
how did
exactly.
she end up with
And I think
him?
that's such bullshit too, because there's so much more that goes into the art of attraction.
Yeah.
And that art of attraction does not change when you're in a swinger situation. Actually, it just multiplies.
Yeah.
So then you imagine like trying to get into an orgy situation where you've got 6, 7, 8 different people,
Mhm.
or we've been in a situation with like 6 different couples. So that's what, 12?
12? Yeah,
I
math.
mean,
6 times 2.
yeah, exactly. So that's what we wanted to kind of talk about is it's perfectly normal to struggle, I guess, to find that kind of connection that you're looking for.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that we go out and we communicate and we talk to a lot of different people, but we don't get the chemistry or the vibe that we're looking for.
Mhm.
And then we go back and we have a great time together.
Yeah. But we still got the socialization and we were
Mhm.
out of the house and it was still a good time.
Right.
Got to
And
be with like-minded people, talk about things,
yeah.
and, probably do it without clothing, so that's always fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, people could say the same about us. Like, they talk to us, we just weren't their cup of tea.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine because there's no way that you're going to go throughout the lifestyle and just have instant connection with every single person you meet. It's not going to happen. And I think that kind of goes to expectations as well. So when you're going out, don't set high expectations. Obviously, you've got your line drawn in the sand of what you're good with doing. But give someone a chance too. Like, and I'm not saying like jump in bed with them and give them a chance. Don't do anything you're not consenting or anything that you're going to regret. What I'm saying is like give them a chance. Like you might see a couple that initially you're not as attracted to as you might want to be, but go and talk to them.
Yeah, just say hi, get to
Yeah.
know them. Even if it's just like, "Hey, like, how are you doing?" And, "What got you into this? Like, how did you get here? What is your dynamic?" Like,
Mhm.
just get to know people. Because at the end of the day, like, you can make a friend, and that's still worth something.
I think that's a big part of the whole lifestyle is being able to have those friendly connections. You see them at another party, you're like, hey, how you doing? How's everything been going? And you have a little different banter going back and forth, and it's not all sexually driven.
Yeah. I mean, we have plenty of people that we talk to at parties that we've never played with.
Mhm.
But we still like, we still enjoy seeing them and talking to them when we go, and it's still a great time.
Right.
I think in the grand scheme of things, like when you're thinking about like the perfect situation, obviously the perfect situation, like for Philip and I, would be that we find a couple that we're equally attracted to, that we all get along together. And, for us, like, we're always like taking adventures and things like that. So, like, for us, like, our dream would be like to find a couple that we vibe with on all levels and that we could travel with them and do fun things, like, even outside the bedroom.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think that's, that just adds a whole nother dynamic to the complexity of this. But yeah, if you could have that friendship and add in that kind of like sexuality to it
Yeah. And
and
attraction and
attraction and everything else, that's like the ultimate want. And I think we've met some people like that in the past. And I think that at that time, maybe that's not what we were looking for. But I mean, yeah, that's what we're really open to is just finding a couple that we can have a good time with, whether we're at Target or if we're in the
yeah.
bed.
Hmm. Or jet setting to the Bahamas.
Yeah, exactly. Bahamas, Mexico, wherever you want to go.
So, what about when you're attracted to someone and you shoot your shot, but you're kind of shot down?
Oh, yeah, the rejection. To me, honestly, the rejection does not hurt as bad in the lifestyle than it would if I was a single man. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but just thinking about dating in general, that rejection would be a lot harder than in the lifestyle. Lifestyle, I understand what the dynamic is and what we're all kind of looking for in a sense. So if I'm not the person that someone's looking for, like I just take it in stride, honestly. That doesn't mean that rejection doesn't suck. We've definitely been there. I don't know. What do you say?
I think for me it's the same, but I think I struggle with it a little bit more than you do.
Yeah.
Like, especially like ghosting. So, ghosting is like this big thing now, and it drives me up the wall.
Mm-hmm. And I know it's so much easier to just ghost someone than to confront whatever it might be or to say, hey guys, we're just not really into you. They would rather just ghost. And yeah, that sucks. Because then you're wondering like, well, did I say something wrong? Did I do
Yeah.
something wrong? What happened?
Yeah. And that's always my problems. Like, we actually had a situation where we met a couple through an app, and we met this couple, and it wasn't a swinging event. It was just like a normal, like, meet us at a bar kind of thing. We'll get to know each other. And if things, lead anywhere, then we could get a room kind of thing, but no expectations. And we met up at the bar. We had conversations. We seemed to hit it off really well.
I mean, everyone was flirting. It
Yeah,
seemed like everything was going great.
seemed like everything was going great, and then it was like poof, they were gone, never heard from them again, never had any like explanation. And so then like I kind of sat with that, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Was I too pushy in that moment? Like, I was left with like unanswered questions. And I think that's the thing that bothers me the most. And I let it go, obviously, but like my thing is like I don't like ghosting people. Like, I would rather just say, "Hey, I know we had a great time and it was so great to meet you, but like the attraction wasn't there."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
just be a grown up and like just say what you feel.
Yeah, just talk about it. And, I think most people are going to receive that much better than you just disappearing and then they're over there wondering what in the world happened is they might have thought the same thing, like everything was going great.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ghosting definitely sucks. And I think that's worse than just the rejection of being told, hey, you're not, yeah, sorry, not into it, or
Yeah,
no, I'm not going to do that.
I would so rather you just reject me than
Yeah,
to just ghost.
yeah. And you've had a recent situation where you were talking with a guy. And honestly, it looked like you guys were having great conversation. The flirting was there. It looked like it's a mutual connection. And then, I think he let you down elegantly. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with you. I think it had something to do with him. He just wasn't. He didn't want to play that night. He just wanted to come out and experience like the vibe, first time at a lifestyle event. But I mean, either way, it
And
was
and
still
I
yeah,
respected that, I
right.
did. I was disappointed because, like I said, that attraction that first initial, like, spark was definitely there, and he was definitely my type, so it was like, I was all for it, but I did respect him because he was honest
Mhm.
and just said, like, "I would love to, but I don't want to right now."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And so it wasn't like he wasn't saying, like, "No, definitely not attracted to you at all," kinda thing. It was more of like, "No, like, this is great, and I have loved talking to you, but I'm not ready to do something."
Yep, exactly. So, and I think he handled that perfectly, and that's what you would want in those kind of situations is just that truth,
Yeah,
whatever that truth is.
exactly.
I mean, you don't have to be an asshole about it,
Yeah,
but
and if I see him again, I'll definitely shoot my shot again.
yeah, because he handled everything with respect and stuff. That's part of the lifestyle. That's kind of the things that a lot of people don't realize when they're getting into it. But think about you're out there trying to connect with others, and there's going to be rejection.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Hmm.
I mean, I reject people,
Yeah, just part of it.
and I try to do it nicely.
Yeah, us being in it as long as we have, I'm sure somewhere down the road we've done something where it probably wasn't the most elegant way, but I think now we really take people's feelings into account because we don't want them to feel that same way of like, oh well, I'm not good enough, or what did I do wrong, or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So going into that, that's slightly an embarrassing moment when you shoot your shot and you get shot down.
I mean, yeah, it can be embarrassing. I mean, you kinda put yourself out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What other embarrassing things happen in the lifestyle?
Oh, embarrassment happens all the time.
Uh,
Sometimes it's, like, little and sometimes it can be big.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, the first thing that pops into my mind is that poor girl that slipped and fell out of the hot tub on the freezing night, butt ass naked.
Oh, yeah, that poor girl.
I mean, I could only imagine how embarrassed she was.
Yeah, so we were at a club and it was, like, February and, like, super cold, and we were in the hot tub, everyone was having a great time, and one of the girls got out of the hot tub, and unbeknownst to her, the water had splashed out of the hot tub and got on the steps up to the hot tub and had froze because it was so cold outside. And she just hops out of the hot tub, and the next thing that we know, she's sliding down the steps. And so, of course, we're all like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And she was probably mortified. I know I would have been.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, she's butt ass naked, so you can't do that gracefully. Even with clothes on, you can't be graceful about that.
No.
But it just makes it worse when you're butt ass naked, titties are flying everywhere. Like,
Have you ever seen a graceful fall? Like,
I mean, we laugh about it, but I just know that, like, it was funny, but it was not funny too because it was so embarrassing for
yeah,
her, I
and
know.
she was fine. She was not hurt or anything.
No,
Her
and she
ego
laughed
probably
about it
was.
too, but
Yeah.
it was just one of those moments where you're like, "Oh my god, I'm glad that wasn't me."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. The other thing, as a guy, most embarrassing thing is when your dick does not want to work.
Oh yeah, that happens.
And that happens a lot in the lifestyle.
It does happen a lot in the lifestyle.
Mhm.
Call that situational anxiety.
Yeah, when you get into a play situation with multiple people, there's so much going on, and then you've got kind of that pressure to perform. Like you don't want to be the one who can't perform.
Mhm.
And then when you start thinking about those things, obviously it intensifies and just makes it worse. So yeah, it's a real thing. Situational anxiety, situational erectile dysfunction, whatever the term technically is. But I would say that it is extremely common in the lifestyle.
It is, and sometimes you can't really explain why it happens.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it just does. I mean, and I think it might be, like, it's harder for guys because, like, you can't hide it, right? Let's be honest. As women, we can fake it to make it.
Yeah.
And, guys really can't. I mean, they can't
No, if it
fake it. If
you
it's not up, it's not up.
exactly. No, I think it's a hard moment for guys, and, if you're listening in, you're like, "Well, how the hell can you not get hard when you've got, 4 or 5 different hot females butt-ass naked?" And,
Yeah, I
honestly,
mean,
you just get in your head.
you're watching 2 girls eat each other out
Right.
and, you're like, "Well, god, like, I'm getting hard just, like, thinking about that." But
Mhm.
when you're in that situation and you're going from like being sexually exclusive with one person,
Right.
and now you're like, fuck, I gotta fuck two of these girls,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta be able to sustain an erection, and I can't come after like 5 minutes
Right.
because then, you know, I'm gonna be a two pump chump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just gets in your
There's
head,
so much stuff that goes through your head. And you typically hear about like women getting in their head and that's why they can't orgasm, stuff like that.
and that definitely happens.
Yeah,
But it's
100%.
easier for us because we can just pretend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's fair to your partner, but yeah,
It's
you
not,
you
but I mean, we can.
you can. And I mean, I think what would be more fair is if you're just enjoying it and having a good time. I mean, unfortunately, not all sex ends in an orgasm. And honestly, that's a whole nother conversation. But orgasms at lifestyle events or with other partners is not that common either.
Yeah, I mean, for us, well, for me, I can
Right.
orgasm, but I know, like, Philip, typically, I don't think he's ever had an orgasm in a play situation.
I don't think so. Yeah, not that I can remember.
Mm-mm.
And that is nothing against the women involved.
No, you're having a great
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I use it more as like foreplay for me and you later. So the erectile issues happen a lot in lifestyle. And when you get that many people and guys get in their head and they have that pressure to perform. And it's even worse. Like for me, I'm usually good if it's us and another couple
Yeah.
or us and another single person, male or female. I'm usually fine there. Where I struggle is more so like in the big group settings.
Yeah, like an orgy setting.
Yeah.
I think it's just there's so many dicks and so much going
There's
on.
so much going on. And like I said, it's that pressure to perform. Like you don't want to be the one that's not performing, but the more you think about that, you're going to be that person. So it's just keeping your head clear of the distractions is the best way. So like me personally, I try not to like look around at what everyone else is doing when I'm in those situations. I
Yeah.
kind of focus more on like you as my partner and we normally start things together. So of course you can get me going like better than anyone else can. And then from there, usually move on to another partner. And then, of course, I look over at you while you're doing things because one, it's fucking hot, and two, like you're my safety blanket, I guess. But like I'm not looking around and like sizing myself up against all the other guys. And I think that's where some guys get into it. I know situations we've been in with males that are smaller than me. It seems like they struggle, and I'm not going to get into size, but either way, you kind of
Oh, look at who's being shy.
no, I think that's a big thing for guys is sometimes you can feel inadequate when you're standing next to someone much larger. And I think of, one of our play partners in the past, great couple that we had a blast with several times, and he was fucking hung.
He was.
And now I never felt inadequate. I thought that was fucking hot for you. But like if I really sat back and started thinking about it, I'll be like, good God, like I'm big, but he's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like there's a clear difference here.
Yeah, it's very nice.
No, it was. It was nice seeing you take that. I was like, good God, is that thing even gonna get in? Like, let's get real.
I had no complaints.
No. No, we had a blast with them. Hopefully
Yeah,
we
but
see them again.
I can see where you're coming from though. Like if you looked at him and then you like look down at yourself, and you're not small by any stretch of the imagination, but if you had to compare yourself or you did start to compare yourself, you
Hmm.
can get into your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the worst part about that is there's nothing you can do about your size. I mean, you have what you have.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't change it. Like you have to, I guess in some way you have to come to terms with, I have what I have and I can't change it and it's good enough.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's people out there for everyone. Honestly, there's women that can't handle my size, and then there's women that definitely wouldn't been able to handle the other guy. So women like that want a smaller or maybe more average dick size.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. I think everything comes in different sizes.
Yeah.
So just accept what you have, be confident with what you have, and that's really what it boils down to. Does that prevent it 100% from getting in your head and you having an issue in a play situation? No.
No.
But, that's one thing that I've noticed is that it could have something to do with the other guy's size that's in the room. And then, if there's a real dominant person, I think that can affect men as well. Like if we were in a play situation and there's someone extremely dominant, taking it to a level that I would be uncomfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
that would make me uncomfortable to where it would not want to perform.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's all about getting in your head, honestly. Like
Yeah.
it's that connection between your brain and your dick. And it's like that motherfucker needs to be sparking, but for some reason it doesn't.
It's sputtering somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and women get in their head too. So it's not just guys. Just the fact of the matter is that, women don't have dicks. Now, there are other aspects that go along with that. I mean, as a woman, if you're not sexually aroused, you're not going to be as wet.
Mm-hmm.
So there are signs,
Right.
that you are not, as, into it as you might be making it out.
Mm-hmm.
It does suck a little bit that women can hide it a little bit better.
Yeah, it does. But at the end of the day, I think what matters most is even if you're a guy and you're in that situation, make the most of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, there's other things, and I don't, I'd like to get your perspective as a female here in a second, but what I was going to say is basically don't just sulk in it. Like, okay, it's not working. There's other things you can do. So, I mean, you've got hands, you've got a mouth. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, like you can still involve yourself. You might just not be able to.
Do penetration.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like being a partner in that situation, like if you see that your significant other is struggling, being aware, just obviously you're doing other things and you might have a lot going on in that moment, but you can also look over and see like, oh my God, he's struggling right now. Like, okay, he can't get it up. Maybe he's in his head. Like, take a second to like step back and like be there for your partner. Like, it could just be a simple, like, I'm going to go over there and he's having a hard time. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to not like talk to him, but like I'm going to go over there and I'm going to make him feel good. I'm gonna,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell him, like, oh my God, you're so fucking hot. Like, look at this right here. Like, bring his focus onto something else. I'm gonna suck his dick. I'm gonna try my best to get him going so that I can help him in that situation to have a good time. And so, do I have to put in a little bit more work? Maybe, but it's for the benefit of my partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's still benefiting me because I love to suck his dick. So it's not going to hurt my feelings to have to do it. But
Right.
I'm aware of the situation and I'm supporting him, just like I would hope that he would support me too.
And I think that's definitely helped me in the past. And this isn't like a common thing that happens, but when it does happen, it sucks. But I mean, there's been a time I can clearly remember on the bed of the cabana. It was just not getting up. And the minute you came over and started doing your thing, boom. And then we continued our night and had a great time.
Yeah.
I feel like exactly what you just said, you being the partner, like that's who you're used to and they know what you like. And sometimes that helps. And sometimes it's just some reassurance you need. And you just need to like refocus and get out of kind of that whole situation and refocus your brain.
Yeah. I mean, it might just be a simple like going over to your partner and like, grabbing their face and saying, look at me.
Mm,
And like just refocus, like look at me, like kiss them, start talking dirty to them, like getting them aroused, putting them back in the mood, getting them out of their head and stopping them from thinking about whatever it is that they're thinking about.
right.
Like taking their hand and putting it on your pussy and, telling them, play with me.
Mm.
And, just sparking that back up and refocusing that and taking them out of their mind and putting them back into their body.
So, this is a big thing for guys. And you, as being on the female side of this, you've experienced this with other men. Talk about kind of those situations and, how it made you feel and what you did or what they did to make the situation better.
Yeah, I think it does happen. And I mean, especially it can happen quite frequently if it's a new situation for them. And, you know, I think if you allow yourself to get into your head, then you're going to be in a terrible situation. Because if you're internalizing the fact that their dick isn't getting up and you're thinking, oh, they're not attracted to me, or, they don't like what they're seeing or whatever, you're internalizing it. Now you're in your head too. And now you're both fucked up. But if you take that and you're just like, okay, it's not because they don't want it, because obviously they're here, right? This is what they want, and they consented to be in this situation, so there's obviously some sort of an attraction. I think that a lot of that, the problem that guys have is as soon as that happens, they feel shame and
Mm-hmm.
they start to feel guilty,
Yep.
and you have to like be empathetic to them. I know every time that it's happened, it's automatically, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I don't know why this is happening. It just isn't getting up. Like, I'm so sorry. And you don't have to be sorry. Like, I understand that this is not your fault. Like, this stuff happens. And, like, just being encouraging and saying, it's okay. Like, we're here, we're together, we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
We both want the same thing. So let's figure out what we can do to get there. And if we can't get there, that's okay.
Yeah.
It happens. I'm not disappointed. Like, I'm not upset with them. Like, and just like talking about it and like being honest. Like, listen, it's okay. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to be sorry. You don't have to feel ashamed. Like, this is normal. This happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. It's a part of it.
Yep. I think that's a great answer. And I think, some of the guys listening would appreciate that answer because really that's one of our biggest fears as guys is not being able to perform. And it does kind of put that like that thought of shame and your instant reaction is, "Oh, I'm sorry." And you want to reassure the woman like it's not them, it's you. You just can't seem to no matter what you want, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. And I mean, and it happens. That's like, I can't have sex in the morning.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I mean, physically you can. You
yeah,
just don't want to.
I mean, physically, yes. Physically, I can. I can lay there and be a cold cucumber. But like Philip loves morning sex, but for some reason in the morning, it's like your sexual drive is driven very much by your brain.
Mm,
Like, yes, we have sexual anatomy and all of that, and like, it does what it does. But for females, it's very much mental.
yeah.
It's not all about just feeling. So, I mean, you have to have the mental aspect of everything. So, like, your brain is connected to your clit, and if your brain isn't there, then your clit's not going to work. I tell Philip all the time, I understand like you love morning sex and I will lay there and you can do what you want to do, but just know like my brain is not connected to my clit in the morning.
Yeah. You're not going to finish.
I'm not going to orgasm. Like,
Yeah.
I'll do what you want me to do
Mm,
and I'll participate, but just know like it's not going to get me where it's going to get you.
right. Exactly. It's so much more of a mental thing than I ever realized. I always knew, on your side, it's mental. A lot of it's mental. But for guys, I didn't realize that until I was in that situation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that happens. Now, there are little tricks.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, exactly. So, I would say you need an insurance policy. And for me, that's a little blue pill. I take it 30 minutes before, and it just kind of takes, I don't know, one, it gives you the confidence that your dick's going to work,
Yeah.
whether that's mental or not. Like, there is medicine behind it, but I think there's a mental aspect too because you took something like, oh, okay, I'm good.
It's like the placebo effect.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it could be a sugar pill and probably still work.
Yeah. I could give you a blue Skittle
Right.
and you might be like, yeah.
Yeah. So, one, I think it's that mental thing. Two, I think that it really does like increase the blood flow. And what it's not going to do, at least for me, and I've taken Viagra and Cialis several different times throughout my years. It's never given me like a rock hard dick for 4 hours straight. what it does, it increases the blood flow. So when you're stimulated, then it rises to occasion and it's rock hard. But once it stops being stimulated, it does go down. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like, I've had a stronger dose in years past and at a younger age, just my pants rubbing on it, it went back up to attention. So I think that is really kind of what I do. I know a lot of men in the lifestyle are now starting to use the injectable. I don't know the name of that. Hopefully, I never use that. I'm not a fan of needles. No, nothing against anyone that uses it. Me personally, I do not like needles. Um, so the little blue pill works great for me. So I would say there's so many websites that you can go and visit. Just search it online. They have the virtual doctors. You don't have to go into your actual provider if you're embarrassed to do that. And I think that's great that we've come to a time where we can have a Zoom call with a doctor and be honest with them about what's going on. I mean, I was extremely honest with the person I talked to. I said, look, I fuck around with a lot of people, and sometimes I get in a situation where there's 5, 6 different people, and it doesn't want to work. And they're like, oh, yeah, you have situational erectile dysfunction. I'm like, oh, do I? Like, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
we actually had somebody that we talked to about this at a party recently, and he was like, "So you just told them that you have fucking orgies?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
mean,
told
it's not
him."
my primary doctor. It's some person on the other end of a video call.
Yeah,
Like,
with a medical
with a
license.
medical license, they're not going to judge you. They've heard it before.
Yeah, I mean, just be honest. And the same thing goes for women too. I mean, I'm very sensitive. So, I have a latex allergy.
Hmm.
I just in general, like my vagina is a princess and she doesn't like certain things. So I have to be like very mindful, like hot tubs that are
Hmm.
public use,
Yep.
things like that. And so the same goes for women. Like you can go online and have the same virtual calls and get prescriptions for antibiotics
Hmm.
to treat like yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis,
Yep.
things like that that, you don't necessarily want to go to the drugstore and buy,
Nope.
or you might not be able to buy at the drugstore that have to actually be prescribed.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's great that you can do those things now so easily. Well, I wouldn't say easily, but they're more accessible than they used to be. You used to have to just
Hmm.
go to your primary care doctor and say, "Hey, like, I don't really want to tell you why I have this problem, but I have this problem and I need you to fix it."
Yeah, and you could be one of those people that your doctor was your mom and dad's doctor.
Yeah.
And, like that's embarrassing. And that's something you don't want your family to know about and other things. There's a lot of online platforms that are geared directly towards this. And I would say that's one of the tips and tricks. And I'll tell you, I don't know. I think we should do a poll one time. How many guys are on like some type of performance improvement, whether it's one of the pills or shot or something. But just guessing, I don't wanna sound crazy here, but I'd say it's at least 80% in the lifestyle.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, but you have to think like you're putting yourself in like a very vulnerable situation, and the last thing that you want is for your dick not to work.
Yeah. It really is. It's like the fear of all guys. So many people do it. That's an embarrassing moment.
Okay, so talking about embarrassing moments, what would you say in the last 4.5 years of being in the lifestyle, what would you say was your most embarrassing moment? Or do you have one?
I mean, besides what we just talked about, I think that's the most embarrassing. But beyond that, I would just say probably saying something stupid. Or, I mean, everyone does that, right? Like you're in conversation, you say something, and you immediately regret it. You're just like, oh, shouldn't have said that. Or what were you thinking?
Oh, like if you get like word vomit?
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, you're nervous and, like, you're
Yeah,
just, like something comes out and you're
yeah,
like, "Oh, that was dumb."
yeah. I mean, I think really that would probably be it for me. Unless you could think of something. I mean, you've been there for pretty much everything.
I really can't. I feel like you're not really, like, an easily embarrassed person.
No. So on the flip side of that, in the last 4 years, what would have been your most embarrassing moment that you could think of?
So I think it was embarrassing more for me because I don't think anybody else realized at the time what was actually happening.
Okay. Do I know about this one?
I think so.
Okay.
So we were at a club and I was pretty nervous. I think it was like the first time being at this particular club. So I was a little nervous and I think it was pretty early on in the lifestyle. And I had brought a bottle of wine with us. And because I was nervous, I indulged more than I should have.
I think I know where you're going with this story.
Yeah. We ended up in a room in a play situation, and I was going down on the gentleman. And all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, the room was spinning. Things were getting a little not great. And I basically stopped mid blowjob and was like, I'll be right back, and just dipped out of the room. Just left. And meanwhile, Philip is in the room doing what he needs to do and looking at everybody. Everyone's looking around like, where the fuck did Veronica go?
Mm-hmm.
And Veronica had to go to the bathroom and literally threw up, grabbed our tote bag because we have a to-go bag, and got my toothbrush and some toothpaste and had to brush my teeth. And then, like nothing happened, went back into the room and picked up where I left off and said, "All right, let's finish this. Sorry about that." And kind of went about my business,
Yeah.
but nobody at the time knew what was happening. But to me, that was so embarrassing that I had drank a little bit more than I should have and
Right.
then had to throw up in middle of everything.
Middle of
So
everything.
that was just lesson learned. You don't overindulge, and you should never really drink heavily when you're in play situations regardless, because you do want to be able to be of sound mind to make conscious decisions.
Right, exactly. And I think it just hit you.
It did. It just hit me so hard.
Yeah, because you're very good about maintaining your alcohol level and not over drinking. So I think it just hit you. And yeah, it's one of those embarrassing moments for you, more so.
Yeah,
But could you imagine if you just threw up all over his dick?
that would have been even worse.
That would.
Like mid blowjob.
I have to think that's happened to someone. I have to think the millions of swingers out there. I can guarantee someone has.
I definitely would have just like tried to play it off like your dick was so big that, yeah, that would have been so embarrassing. Like just like throw up all over his dick like mid blowjob, just be like, bleh.
Oh my goodness. So maybe what are some lessons learned that we've overcome in the lifestyle? Just talking about like four-way connections and kind of like embarrassing moments.
I mean, I think the biggest lesson is being open and honest about how you're feeling in certain situations, not getting into your head. Don't judge yourself against others, so don't compare.
Yeah.
And I mean, just understanding that embarrassment happens and, you know, sometimes it's not all bad.
Yeah. And I would say, even if it's embarrassing, if you can laugh about it later,
Yeah.
you probably okay.
Like running butt ass naked out of a room.
Yeah.
To throw up.
I would also add that if you don't have some type of like fail or embarrassing moment in your journey, then you're probably lucky.
Yeah, or you're not being 100% authentic.
That's valid too. Because I mean, it's going to happen.
I mean, we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
We're not perfect all the time.
No. And I think that's, to kind of summarize with the four-way connections and how difficult that is. You look at all the brochures and all of the advertisements for swinging, and it's like the most gorgeous people on those.
Yeah, and they all match up and
They all
everything
match
is.
up, everything's wonderful. And in reality, that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, no, everybody's different.
Mm-hmm. So just set normal expectations for when you go out, and I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yep. Give some people a chance that maybe you wouldn't have before.
And give yourself grace.
And sometimes it might even turn out to be a really cool story.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun stories.
We do. We've had a lot of fun.
And we'd like to hear your stories too. So if you had an embarrassing moment.
If someone threw up on your dick, I want to know. Literally, you can do it anonymously. You can even message us in
Yeah.
private. But
Yeah.
if someone's actually threw up on you, physical vomit, I want to know.
We want Veronica to not feel like she was the only one.
Right, exactly.
So you can message us on TikTok or Instagram or even comment on our Spotify.
Hmm. We'd love to hear from you. So with that, I think we will sign off. So as always, stay connected
Stay curious.
and stay paired.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.